school. When you're in class, you got to leave football with football. So you got to compartmentalize as best as you possibly can.
James, you referenced negative recruiting earlier. Given the revelations that came out in the last few weeks with new information about what the victims went through, how does that increase your workload as far as recruiting is concerned and reassuring families and players that?
Yeah, well, let me say this. I mean, when I made that statement, I mean, negative recruiting happens all over the country, everywhere. Everybody is dealing with it. Obviously, for us, there's some sensitive subjects out there, and some people choose to use it, and some people don't. And what we're there to do is try to talk about Penn State, focus on all the wonderful opportunities that Penn State offers academically, athletically, socially, spiritually, those types of things, but also be able to answer the tough questions. And we're probably in a position where we probably have to answer more tough questions than maybe any program in the country. So, fortunately, the families and the young men that have been open and said, "Look, this is what we're hearing. Can you help us with this?" We're able to answer those questions, or also provide people that can help. The hard ones is no different than any of us in any other areas of our life. If people don't communicate what the concerns or issues are, it's hard to solve them. So we've been fortunate. It's made some things a little bit more challenging. And there's no blueprint. There's no one you can call or ask about how to handle this situation, because it's extremely unique.
Do you feel some programs have crossed the line, however, in talking with Penn State, considering what's happened right now?
I'll leave my statement as what I've already stated.
Could I follow that, James? With Sandy had mentioned that if this was going on in the Big Ten, she would feel the need to address it. She didn't say that it was, but do you take that same stance? Do you think you would need to address that with your fellow coaches in the Big Ten if you knew it was coming to them, with respect to the Sandusky situation?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line to that. I think some things need to be addressed. I do think there's a line you do not cross. But that's, I guess in some ways that's the nature of the beast. I think some people are going to look for weaknesses and try to take advantage of those. But to me, there is a line that you do not cross. We'll see how that whole thing plays out. There's a time and place for everything.
James, speaking of recruiting, two guys that a lot of your fan base are interested in just got to campus, Blake Gillikin and Alex Barbier. Have they come in as advertised so far?
Yeah, obviously I'll have a better answer for you after the first week of camp, but, talking to our players and talking to the strength staff, there's been great feedback of what they've done in the weight room. They've come in prepared. Both of those guys were high-level athletes. We like to recruit specialists that are athletes who happen to kick, rather than just a guy who only has kicked. Guys that were basketball players, baseball players, have done a lot of different sports. Those guys have done that. Testing numbers, strength, conditioning, they've done really well. And then talking to the players, those are guys that I think are truly going to be able to come in and compete at their positions. One of the things that's great is it is a true skill. And whether you're in high school punting the ball or whether you're in college punting the ball, the skill is still exactly the same. It's not like a defensive lineman where strength and size and experience really factors in. This is just can you handle the stage? Can you handle the stage of being on national television? Can you handle the stage of being in front of 107,000? And can you stick to your routine? And those two guys have been punting and kicking at a high level for a while, so they're going to make it interesting.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.